Hello, I'm Krista Gerard with the Center for Systemic Healing, and I'm here today just to answer some questions for you and have a little conversation about the 2019-2020 Constellation Immersion Learning Program that is enrolling now and beginning the first weekend of September. So I just wanted to bring forth some maybe surprising benefits that you might not be aware of with your participation in this program and answer some questions. And to help me do that and to assist me is a lovely new student that has joined our program, just enrolled, Maureen McRae. So thank you for being here today, Maureen.
Well, thank you for inviting me. I'm excited to be here.
Wonderful, wonderful. And this whole video came together because we were having some wonderful conversations about how you chose this program in particular, and also what's been some things that have been unfolding for you even since you enrolled. So maybe just you might want to just share why this program.
Well, I've really noticed as my practice evolves, there's been a gap, and I've been seeking something that helps me bring in more opening into working with people that have issues with family. And I wasn't sure what that was at all until I discovered you. I was led to you. And as I've set some intentions to start to work with you, more and more clients are presenting themselves with these issues that they're having with family dynamics. So I find it also very interesting how that starts to unfold.
And it seemed like it happened right after you made your commitment, right?
It sure did. It was,
yeah. I noticed that. Even if someone is doing a constellation, I always tell them as soon as you make your commitment, things start to unfold. So, and Maureen is joining us from Canada. So, if there's a calling, you want to follow that. And you were telling me that just even in conversations that things were showing up for you, that just in conversations.
I've had many clients, not just clients, of course, my own personal work, it starts to show up as well. But many clients come in, and now that I've set this intention, are talking about struggling with overcoming issues with family, resistance. It's really been quite profound, the things that I'm seeing. I'm actually, one day I think I mentioned to you, I was at my chiropractor office, and as I was checking out, the receptionist talked about having a anniversary gathering for her and her husband, and her two daughters would not attend because of conflict that they have experienced over the year. And I was guided to give her my business card and say, in about 9 months, I'll be ready to, invite you in to explore systemic family constellation work, either one-on-one or perhaps even in a group setting. So it just presented, it was that easy. It just evolved and opened so beautifully.
And and when we're in conversation with people, when we talk to people, family is always present. It's either good, it's either a so-called good or not so good. And it's just, family is our source of life. Our parents is how we receive life. And there's so much disconnection and discord among families nowadays, that there's just never been, for me, it just feels like there's never been a more important time to bring this work forward. And also, of course, for for people that are listening, just to become in touch with your client as part of a larger whole. So when we're talking to a friend or our beloved or a client, how we're representing ourselves out in the world. But when it's one-on-one with a person, there's always a systemic perspective, always allows us to be in touch with everything that's with that person. So that changes everything. That changes everything when you can become in touch with that. Doesn't mean you need to know everything. It just means to know that very possibly how that person is responding or reacting to you can be coming from their own personal experience. But some of us facilitators, we have different relationships to how much, what is the percentage that's with that person that is not theirs. So 60%, 70% of everything that's coming through, of the behaviors and the responses and the reactions, how people interact, that's not all of them, because of course our issues didn't start with us. So I just think that changes everything for working with a client, for being in relationship with people. I don't know, what do you think, Maureen?
Well, I think that's so fascinating that you talk about the percentage of what we've got in the way we manifest in the world is not all ours. I recall a few months ago sitting on the couch thinking that, looking and doing some of my own personal work and feeling like I was really displaying emotions and behaviors that weren't even mine, that were my mother's.
Mm-hmm.
So I do muscle response testing and of course dowsing. So I just, for fun, I said, what's the percentage that this is actually mine? And like I got 20% was mine. And
Wow.
I was shocked. I went, oh my gosh, now what do I do with this information? I do energy work as well. So I've done some of that, but it's not complete. It hasn't finished it off. It's not enough to just, cut cords or, clear people from your field energetically. It's been, there's that missing piece, which then I followed up with you, and we did a family constellation private session, which was very beautiful. So, and I have so many clients that come and see me who, even though they've done a lot of counseling, they've, seen many professionals over the years on their journey, still are feeling like they just can't get through this. They can't break through this barrier. And they don't know what that is.
Well, that brings me to another of the key points that I kind of wanted to speak to before we'll talk about the barriers. But before we go there, I would just kind of share that, of course, constellation work is inclusion work. It's bringing together that which appeared to be separate. So we never cut cords. That is a source for a systemic issue. And that is a core source for, I would say, for a majority of everything that we experience, this level of disconnection. So we're always including, and in a very specific way, and finding those events and those conditions in a very specific way, honoring, seeing, including, hearing what hasn't been heard before. So that's the part of the work that makes us very different. And then talking about barriers that people, that we all come up, we all have an edge that we come up with. And we work with this a lot in the immersion program. I've written articles about this, what I see as the paradox of human growth. And that is where we have this opportunity, something's presented to us. It might be, this is the job I've been waiting for. Here's the relationship. Oh my gosh, here's the relationship I've been dreaming about or praying for. And then we come up to what appears to be a barrier. And this phenomenon is anyone that does coaching or consulting, just supporting people to break through, this is a really well-known phenomenon. From the systemic perspective, we see it very differently, because the way we see it, and you see it when you do a constellation, you literally see it, is that this is when we take that step beyond, we're actually on an energetic level, on a soul level, we're taking a step beyond that family field of belonging. And so this is a very big and rich and deep topic that that we work with a lot. But what I say just in general is the magnitude of the level of resistance that's present in a situation equals the magnitude of growth and transformation available. So the more the resistance is, the louder that is, the more that's available when we move through it. And and we can talk about that some more another time. Definitely that's a focus, and definitely that's one thing that I think that people that are in the supporting arts, the creative arts, the consulting and coaching arts, that is just like crucial. That's essential to kind of have that understanding on how to move through that.
This is all so exciting, and it brings up so many questions, and I can't wait to start. The one comment I had is when you were talking about how instead of this pushing away and creating even more resistance, perhaps in the family unit, you're talking about inclusive connection, and my heart just opened when you said that. It's so beautiful.
Yes, it's inclusion is what allows constellation works to find solution. It really is. And that's what is very unique about the work. And that's what we experience every time we come together in the immersion program, which is, it is a 9-month holding. It's a 9-month, some people have called it a 9-month constellation of coming together, learning about the work, having an embodied experience of it, because it is experiential. It needs to live in the cells of our body, and therefore it starts to live in our life. And we look at life in a very, very different way. And for me, it's all about what it is to be human, the mystery and the magnificence of what it is, what it is to be human. And maybe the last point that I wanted to bring up with this is, why now? Why would we want this now? And there are so many. We want to have full access to all of our contribution, to everything that we have to offer in this very challenging time on the planet. And of course, what so many of us, so many helpers, healers, humans you know, we are seeing that the pain of the past is really starting to be right in our face now. And this is up for healing. And if there is a way to do it, I'm really thrilled to find out about it. If there's something beyond the systemic perspective, working with inclusion, transforming that, allowing us to really take our place as the leading edge of consciousness in our family lineage. So there's so much back there that wants to support us, and where we get overwhelmed, exhausted, where we can't look, or it's too much, is because we're trying to do it by ourselves. And we weren't designed to do it by ourselves. There's this incredible support system behind us. So that is ultimately, that's the gift of the program. So anyway.
Wow. Beautiful. I'm so excited. I'm thirsty for this.
I love that. Thirsty, yes.
My soul is thirsty for this.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, thank you so much, Maureen, for joining me today. I'm just thrilled to have you with us. And anyone that is listening that wants to have more information, familyconstellationwork.net, and there'll be some information below in the bio of the video that you can connect, and I'm happy to chat with you. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
And look forward to seeing you soon.